Good evening, everybody, and I'm going to try and get through this broadcast, but I have got from somewhere, I don't know where it's come from, a very stinky, nasty cold, and I've been sneezing my way through the day, so hopefully I shall get through the broadcast without too much bother. So let's do the refreshing of the page like I usually do. Hi, Shania. How nice to see you, and thanks for that invite just now. I'll talk about that shortly in the broadcast. Hi, Matt. Nice to see you. So I am suffering, not suffering in silence, but I am rather bunged up with a with a summer cold, and I don't know where that's come from. Had quite an interesting day. So let's just hang on. Let me just refresh the page. We've done that. That's it. Lovely. Hi, Tina. Nice to see you. Nice to see everybody coming in here now. And I don't mind telling you, within the last hour, I was actually snoozing on my desk and woke up and didn't know where I was or what was going on. Hi, Mark. And so I was, I woke up at 20 past 9. I've had a busy day, and I obviously snoozed off on my desk. Hi, Denise. And woke up and wondered why I was on my own, because I'd been with family members earlier, but then suddenly realised they'd gone and I was actually in my flat on my own, waking up from a snooze on my desk and thinking, oh, I missed a webinar. I had a webinar planned at 8 o'clock and I snoozed all the way through. Hi, Diane. But I was very delighted to see that when I went to look for the webinar that I'd missed because I was snoozing. Hi everybody, hi Janet, hi Karen, everybody coming in all at once here. So when I woke up and realised that I'd missed the webinar, and it was quite a powerful one I wanted to listen to, because I don't know if you know, but every day I try to. Hi Lily, every day I try to upskill, try to improve my knowledge, my learning. And I will say every day is a school day, so there's always time. Hi Daniel, always time to learn new things. I've also just taken out a free trial of Audible books, and that's hi there, Dan and Sarah, both of you coming in. Yes, so I've taken out a free trial of Audible books. Oh, I'm glad you love my top, and I'll tell you, this is not the top I started with today, and there's a whole story coming about that, because some of you may have seen that there was a little shenanigans going on with the top that I put on originally today, so I'll tell you about that in a minute. Anyway, so I as I say, I was snoozing, I woke up and I've managed to find that they've given me the replay of the webinar I missed. It's a very powerful lady, Lisa Nichols, very powerful speaker. Yes, a coffee spill. You got it in one. So yes, I rather like this colour, and you know, I always used to wear a lot of black. And a few years ago, I had my the colours done. You know, where people, colour experts, they look at your colours, they look at the shape of your body, and give you advice. Well, I'd had a lucky find. I was going through some papers, and I found an old policy that paid me out rather a lot of money. Now, I had some bills to pay. I had some outstanding bills, so I decided to pay the bills, but then I decided to treat myself and book in this colour consultant, this expert. So she checked my colours out, and she also gave me advice on what's the best things to wear that suited, that. Yeah, that's right. Yes, I remember, because Tina, we had where Tina and I used to be in the Rotary Club together, and we had the same lady come to talk to the Rotary Club. But I had a personal session, and it's done me the power of good, because this lady had spent the money with her, and it was a great investment in me. I don't know if you ever do things and you say, well, I can't afford that, or I can't afford this. Sometimes hi Tressa, you actually have to say, that's an investment in me, and that's going to make a big difference. And that's what I did with that. I said, right, I'm going to invest in myself. and I had the colour consultant, and you know, she went with me even to the shops to buy some clothes, and it wasn't, you know, a great big expensive shop. We went into charity shops, we went into some of the cheaper shops, and she helped me to get what I call a capsule wardrobe, where you have not a huge amount of clothes, but you have a lot of changes. So, you know, you could change things over make the different look with a scarf or different jewellery or whatever it was. So that was a great investment in me. And what she did, she took me right away from wearing black, and the colours now. This is the pink that I can wear. And I wear lots of purples and those sort of maroony colours, navies, greys, all of those, and turquoise. So turquoise and one of the lilac-y ones, which it was on her swatch that she gave me. It was called Periwinkle, and those are the colours that best suit me. And ever since I've changed what I wore, I get some wonderful compliments about it. And these days I'm getting some wonderful compliments for my earrings, which I will just give a little shout out for Splash. Splash is a lovely jewellery shop halfway down Union Street, and again, not expensive. £5 I think my earrings cost me. Had loads and loads of compliments for them, and not just the pink ones, I've got silver ones as well. So you can do, you know, I was talking to Matt, who was part of the Newport Carnival Parade, when I was down in Sandown recording the carnival, and we were talking about carnival floats and things like that. And I actually was saying, I mean, and it's true of all life, you can have champagne ideas, but you can do them on a beer budget. And, you know, so I've done lots of things like that in the past. And so, you know, so thank you for the compliments. And you know what? You lovely people out there keep me going. I don't mind telling you, you know, and I'm going to go public on it. I'm not going to go totally public, but I have got a lot of rubbish going on in my life at the moment. And it will be very easy for me to cocoon myself here away in my flat and mope and be miserable. But I've decided that actually the rubbish that's going on in my life is not going to get me down. And, you know, I've adopted that attitude that actually, you know, there's some problems being caused and they are not going to drag me down. And so, and the thing is that I have you wonderful audience there. So I keep on broadcasting. I keep on looking for all the positives when there's a lot of negatives that could suck me down. And so, you know, by keep engaging with you, you are keeping me buoyant, and hopefully I'm keeping a lot of you buoyant as well. So it's a very win-win situation. You will hear, thank you, Tina. You will also hear that I'm very nasal tonight. Personal, not, oh well, Ian, actually, you know, there's always rubbish going on in the business world. Ian and I know each other very well. Ian here in the broadcast runs white shops, and again, even in the business world, where, thank you, go, Lily, I need to teach you your knitting sometime soon. But Ian here in the business world, he will endorse that when you do something and you do it well, and I tend to do the things that I know I can succeed at. So, you know, some people think I'm successful. I only pick the things I know I can be successful at. You know, there are a lot of things I don't do, but when I decide to do something, I decide to do it well. And I've run the network group, I've done a lot of helping of businesses. But again, and that's probably why Ian was asking me whether it's business or personal, there are people out there who want to pull you down all the time. But do you know what? I refuse to let them pull me down. And, you know, there are some people, for some reason, best known to themselves, who block me on Facebook, don't want anything to do with me. And the very daft thing is they want to connect with local businesses. And how silly is that, by blocking me? Because I have a huge network, and if they collaborate, that's how. Thank you. And do you know, this is what keeps me going here. It's all you lovely people offering to be there, offering to help with any of the situations I have. And you know, that's what happens if you surround yourself with a lot of lovely people who are, get rid of the toxic, you know, get rid of the toxic element. Unfortunately, it's a bit more difficult for me to get rid of the toxic the toxicity that's going on in my life. I'm trying to avoid it. It is a bit of a difficult one. I won't go into why, because I don't want to go totally public on it. All I need you to know is that you keep me going. It would be so easy to let this get me down and to crumble into a heap, but not going to. I'm not going to. And one of the things I did today, I went out, I decided, the rubbish is going on anyway. Let's just go out there and have a fantastic day. And I remembered that I had to have a blood test. The doctor wanted me to have a blood test, and he gave me the form 4 weeks ago. It wasn't, it wasn't a rush job or anything urgent. So, and I totally forgot about it till just before I was going on holiday. And there's a clinic not far from where I live, and so just before I went on holiday I thought, I'll try and get this blood test in before I go. And unfortunately, lack of information, this is one thing I bang on about all the time, why people can't give out the correct information, or the correct information isn't easily accessible. I needed to go for the blood test, so of course, because I'm online a lot, I googled the clinic, and they gave me the times of the clinic when the blood tests were available. Fortunately, I didn't just head off. I tried to ring the clinic. This was before I went away, and nobody answered, which is not actually a great system when you've got a clinic and lots of people might be wanting to come and might want answers. Nobody answered the phone. So I thought, well, I'll just see if I can double check that the clinic's going to be open. And I hadn't noticed, but on the top of the form that they needed to put the results of the blood test on, in quite small writing at the top, it said that the clinic closed at 1:45. Well, when I was looking, it was 1:15, and even if I'd rushed around there, I'm sure they'd have had a queue and wouldn't let me have my blood. So I decided to go on holiday and then to go out yesterday and get the blood test done. So I thought, let's cross that off. There's rubbish going on, but let's get this one crossed off so that I don't have to worry about that. So I decided to catch the 9:30 bus this morning. As a pensioner, I have a free bus pass. Can't get on the bus till 9:30 for free. I would have to pay before that. But there's a bus that goes from the bottom of my road at 9:30, and it goes round to the clinic. So I hopped on the bus, and I thought, I'll take my knitting, because I'm sure that I'd probably be sitting there for hours and hours. Anyway, I got into the clinic, and you have to take one of those tickets and wait your turn. And as I got there, they were on, I think, ticket number 49, and mine was 65. So I thought, wow, that doesn't seem to be a very long queue to me. But what it did seem to me, to be long enough to go and get a cup of coffee, because there's a Friends of St Mary's, which St Mary's is our hospital, and there's a shop run by the Friends of St Mary's Hospital, and this is the local clinic. And I thought, right, I'll go in there and get a cup of coffee. And some of you will know the result of that, because you've seen what happened on my Facebook page earlier. Excuse me. So I went into the shop, and I had a little bit of banter with the lady serving in the shop, and she made me coffee, and she said, would you like a lid on that? And so I said, yes, please. And I don't think the lid got put on properly. And now, I'm not apportioning blame to anybody. There's enough rubbish going on in the world, so whose fault it was that the lid wasn't properly on, it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Anyway, I went outside and sat in the waiting room, and by this time a few more numbers had been clicked, so the numbers, it was getting nearer and nearer to my number 65. And look, I haven't got the ticket. Yes, I have. Look, there we are, number 65. That's what I was today. I need to throw that away now. And so I was watching, but I was having some banter with the lady sitting there, because I tend not to sit quietly in Angela, in these things. I like to chat, in case you hadn't noticed. So anyway, I was chatting with the lady opposite, who was there with her elderly father, and I picked my coffee up. Now, I had a lovely white lacy blouse on, and I picked up my coffee, and I went like that, and the lid came off, and the result was a new designer blouse. Fortunately, my handbag, which was on the floor, which was open, missed the coffee going in, but it did go all over the floor. It went all down my lovely white blouse. But you know, the thing is, it's how you deal with things, isn't it? And I had already determined today that today was going to be a good day and everything was going to work out. So it was just, you know, there's so much rubbish going on in my life that to worry about a cup of coffee spilt on my blouse was the last thing in the world, really, to make a big issue about it. I have other blouses. If the coffee stain doesn't come out, it doesn't come out. It's one of those things. It was one of those lacy blouses that I had issues with because when I knit on the bus, you know, I had longer knitting. I now knit with short knitting needles, but you know, the knitting needles were this size. And when I was knitting on the bus before, what you would find was, look, the knitting needles would get caught in the blouse. And so that was one of my blouses that got caught. But anyway, now it's got I've soaked it. I haven't even looked at it today. I haven't gone back to it. When I got home, I put it in soak, and I decided that actually that can wait until later. And I've had some family members here today, so the blouse is the last thing on my mind. And you know, it is attitude of mind, isn't it? I could be really grumpy about that blouse. Oh, you know, I've ruined my... It wasn't worth it. It's not worth putting all that negative energy out on something that, you know, either the stain will come out or it won't come out. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. So we had a lot of fun around it. I posted on Facebook and said, you know, made some funny quip about, oops, got a new designer blouse. That's what you saw, Ian, earlier. You know, it's a great way to deal with it. You know, I had made my mind up that today was going to be a good day and I wasn't going to let even a spilt coffee down my blouse, you know, ruin my day. And as I say, we had a lot of banter while I was sitting there in the waiting room at the clinic. And then the numbers were going down. I was getting so excited because it was getting nearly up to my number. And I had actually finished my coffee by the time I was called. But also, the clinic is on the number 37 bus route. And I was rather tired this morning. And although I got the bus to the clinic, the bus only goes one way round in Ryde, so it goes from the clinic, it then goes down into town, right down to the right down to the seafront. Then there's a gap, and then about 15 or 20 minutes later, the next one comes up and does the whole circuit round. And I decided that I would go down into town, and I was lucky enough because they finished my blood test. I got so excited because they finished my blood test and I'd literally got 3 minutes to come out of the clinic and catch the bus. And the bus stopped straight outside the clinic. I mean, you know, I do get excited by these things. And the fact that the buses only go 1 an hour, but you know, because I determined in my head, hi Sarah, because I determined in my head that today was going to be a good day, I managed to catch the bus that, you know, I might not have caught. So I decided to, I was going to get the bus, I was going to go down into town. And one of the things, when I really want to be uplifted, one of the things I do is go down into number 66, which is a lovely gift shop in Union Street. And the girls that run it, there's lovely Jane and Sue. They're twin sisters, and they take it in turns to run it. I've never seen them both there on the same day. They're not identical twins, so we are talking about two different people here. But while I was away, I did see that they had a picture taken with both of them there on the day of the UK Pride. They were both in the shop because I've seen the picture, and they both happened to have the same dress on, so that was quite funny. Anyway. They are such uplifting people, and I just thought, I'm going to go in. I haven't seen them since I was away on holiday. I'm going to go in and have a chat, and then that'll kill a bit of time, and then I'll go and get the bus to come back up to town and all the way round and back home. So that's what I did. I wasn't intending to buy anything. I buy lots of things in there. I buy lots of my little motivational books in there. And so I went in and said hello, and Jane was there, but she'd got a rep. She was just ordering some stuff, so she didn't have much time. I didn't have a lot of time, and she didn't have much time, but she always such a lovely greeting. They're always so pleased to see you. It's just, you know, it's one of those things where you walk in and you know that they're going to appreciate you whether you buy something or whether you don't. And it's just, that's just a nice attitude to have. And that's probably why so many people go in their shop. Anyway, so I popped in there and she was chatting, you know, she was chatting to this rep and doing her order. So I did have a look at the book stand. And guess what? This lit, my eye lit on this. So this is one of, I've got so many of these little books I read to you. They uplift me. I hope they uplift you. That's the whole purpose of it. You know, spending my pension on all these little books, and if it's not books, it's wool to do the knitting. And I saw this book and I thought, do you know, that book is talking to me. It says, when life gets you down, keep dancing. And I thought, right, that's it. That's calling me. I've got to have this book today. So I looked through it and I read the blurb on the back and I thought, yes, the perfect book for today. And it says, those who wish to sing always find a song. That's a Swedish proverb. And it says, life isn't always sunshine and roses. And how true is going on in my life. But with the right attitude, no challenge is too big and no positive thought is too small. These inspirational quotes will keep your worries at bay and have you smiling, laughing and dancing in the rain in no time. And so I've got this and I've marked some pages off. Now I'm gonna try and do it. I am very nasal today. I am struggling. I've got this summer cold that just came out of nowhere. When I was away on holiday, I've had a lovely holiday. I come back with a stinky cold. I was sneezing a lot while I was away. But no, you know, nothing more to talk of. And then suddenly this cold, very nasal. And I'll tell you something, another first world problem. I do a lot of voice to text when I'm sending messages rather than type them all out. Because we have such modern technology, you can talk to your phone, and because you talk generally 4 times faster than you type. And because my son teaches productivity, he's taught me to talk to my phone, and my phone writes the message. That's okay if you don't have a cold. But this morning it was sending some challenges out. I don't know if I've got the things written. I wrote some things down. I don't know whether they're here. Yes. So I put. So I was talking to my phone, right? And I put Monday morning. That's what I wanted it to type, and it typed, but they are boarding. So where that came from. I put friendly and it went Fred Lee. I put varied menu and it typed favourite read, and so on and so forth. You know, so I took some screenshots of some of it because I think I could actually make a whole book on where your phone, you know, gets it wrong. But because I was nasal this morning, it got it wrong. The thing is, I don't like typing into my phone anymore because it takes a lot longer than when you talk. My son said, well, you talk 4 times faster than you write. If it makes a mistake, it's still quicker to go back and correct the mistake than it is to type it all out. And I know that because I'll do voice to text and then somebody's texting me back and it takes a lot longer for their answer to come back to me than when I'm sending my messages. But that is a productivity hack. It's a free piece of advice. It's fantastic if you can get your smell. I love it, Ian. You know, your audience are fantastic. You so keep me going. And you know, if I can just keep my head on, I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to stay motivated today. And then all you lovely people come in and keep me buoyant and keep, you know. So this is not a one-way train. This is a two-way thing where we all help. And I mean, I am very, very proud of this network that we are building here. Yes, I do the broadcast, but it's not just down to me, it's teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work. I could sit here every night and talk to my phone, but there wouldn't be much point if there weren't a lot of you lovely people coming in on the other side to talk to. You know, I've got over the fact that I am talking to my phone because actually I visualise you all there as I see your names coming up. I don't see everybody's name coming up. I know a lot of people watching who are not friends with me on Facebook. I think if you're friends with me on Facebook, I see your name come in. But otherwise, you know, but we have so much to share. And this is such a great community that we are building, which is why I find it sad when some local people decide that actually I think it's a jealousy thing going on. I don't know, never understand it, why some people will try and pull you down rather than help you up and work with you. And the thing is, if you work together, if you collaborate, collaboration is the best way, because so much more happens if you collaborate with each other. And really trying to destroy each other and be so horrible to each other, where did all that come from? So I will not be destroyed by what's going on in my background. I will keep going. I will have fun. I will obviously still have accidents like coffee down my front, but I will still see the funny side of it. My dear dad, who left us in 2010, and his picture is my fridge is behind the camera there, and my picture of my dad's there, and he watches me. He watches down on me every night. Fun man. I get my sense of humour from him. And, even in my longest, darkest days, I've managed to maintain my sense of humour. I've had people tell me I'm the laughing stock, and I say that's fine because I like to make people laugh. So laughter's the best medicine. And if throwing coffee over my blouse, down my front is one way of making people laugh, well, so be it. It really doesn't matter, does it? So it is very much an attitude of mine. I haven't always been like this. I've had to work hard at this. But, looking for the positives rather than dwelling on the negatives is just, the way to go. Get rid of the toxic people in your life as much as you can. Sometimes it's harder, and in my situation, it's not the easiest way. Some people I just walk away from them when they're being toxic. This one is a little more difficult. We're getting there. Several of us are working together. It is a family issue, but it will be resolved. But the upside of that is I'm seeing some family members and spending time with some family members that I haven't been close to in years. So every cloud has a silver lining. And today I've had my niece and her little girl Lexi and my sister. So my sister is grandma to Lexi, or Nana. She's called Nana and I'm a granny. And they've been here in my flat. And Lexi is 2, and bless her, I haven't really had a lot to do with her. She's going up. Do lives just come and go, don't they? We don't always get together. We don't always spend the time we should. But we've had a really quality afternoon today. And I have a great big one of those, it's like a laundry basket that I've got my wool in, because lots of you know I'm a very avid knitter, and you can never have too much wool. And my sister laughed when she saw how much wool I'd got. But that wool turned out into a fantastic play basket for Lexi. Her mummy had bought some toys with her, but she had great fun with all my balls of wool. And then my sister had great fun at the end of the afternoon winding them all up and putting them back in. So it was amazing how much, Lexi had such fun with the stash. That's right, Karen. Life is for having fun. Put the toxic people out with the rubbish. Even family members can go in the rubbish. You're quite right. Don't hold on to toxic people. Stay positive. And, it is very much, I have had to work at it. It will sort itself out, Ian. If I dwell on it, it will suck me down. If I treat it with the light-heartedness that I'm trying to, there are lots of people working on this. We are a family. We are quite a religious family. We do believe in the power of prayer. This may, that may bring the answers. You can't always just pray. You've actually got to do some active stuff as well. Hi, Lynn. Oh, the other mad Lynn B. Lovely Lynn that I met the other day. Sorry, I'm sure, I don't think she'll mind me saying she's another mad Lynn B, but we met the other day at a fundraising thing, and we had such a lot of fun. And every day I'm meeting new people who now come into the broadcast, or I met some new people today. I met some new people on the train coming back from Devon who said they were going to come in and join us on the broadcast. It's just, the community is getting bigger and bigger, and it's a fun community. And and I love the way you watch out for me. These lovely comments coming in here to keep me uplifted and know that you're there for me. And I'm not going to worry about things going on for the future. There is a concern. Bye, Karen. There is a concern that something might happen. And it might happen to me. But you know what? I'm not even worrying about it. Why put your energies into something that's may not ever happen? So that's it. So keep Keep focused, keep positive. So I am going to read out of my lovely Butterfly Whispers book that I like to read to you on a daily basis. So let's see what the story is for 30th of July. And my goodness, we're nearly at the end of another month, winging our way into the autumn very soon. Much cooler today, really nice. I mean, although I say that, my flat is still very hot, but it's been a much cooler day out there, which was really rather nice. So anyway, the entry for the 30th of July. On the tube yesterday, a man's bag had 2 buttons on it which looked like eyes, a strap that looked like a nose, and the bottom of the bag was curved. So the bag looked like a smiley face. My colleague thought I was mad. What simple things make you smile? Are you looking for things to make you smile and be happy, or do you walk around looking for things that upset or offend you? Well, I think you know the answer to that for me, and the same for Vanessa. Every day I see things that make me smile. However simple they may be, it's amazing what you can see when you start looking. And I think that's a lovely quote for today. And I'm just going to put the marker in for tomorrow, the last day of July tomorrow. Oh my goodness, where are the months going? And then I'm going to read to you out of my lovely new When Life Gets You Down, Keep Dancing. So let's read and see what we've got here. So I think I read the back of it, didn't I? Look, I got lots of little, I love these little stickers. I've got, I love little things like this. I've always loved stationery things. Down in the works in Newport, I bought this lovely little thing, £2, what a bargain. And look, it's lots of stickers. I seem to have lost, I think they've fallen under my desk, one of the loads of stickers, but little post-it notes and little stickers, and they are fantastic for marking the pages in my book, as you can see. Oh dear. Excuse me, folks. So here we are. So when life gets you down, keep dancing. I'm not going to get up and dance now, but I will be dancing. You know, I am dancing in my heart here. So it says, keep smiling, because life is a beautiful thing and there's so much to smile about. And that's Marilyn Monroe. My name is actually Marilyn. I'm not just a Lynn. I am actually a Marilyn, so that's my namesake. And it's so true, isn't it? And in fact, while I was in the clinic throwing coffee over myself, you know, not on purpose, obviously, something came up on Facebook and somebody's page, and it said, "What are you grateful for?" And what was it I put? I'm great. It was something about the coffee. I can't remember what I put. Like, I don't know, but it was something like, I'm grateful. I can't remember, but it was something around being grateful that. I know. I think I was being grateful that I hadn't thrown all my coffee away and that I still had some to drink, or something like that. It was something very positive. Other people were putting very different things, like they were grateful, you know, for eyes to see and all that sort of thing. But I just had to put my little twist of humour in it, and you know, they were putting lovely things too. So it says, whoever said happiness comes with sunshine has never danced in the rain. And today, when I was coming back from all my shenanigans down in town, as I walked up my road, it started to rain, and I do have one of those emergency ponchos in my bag so that if it rains I can throw one of those things over me. But you know, I didn't even bother to stop and get it out. I was so near home and it was so refreshing, the rain, that I didn't bother. I didn't really get very wet either. I did get a little bit, somebody had let their okie but you turned yourself around. Absolutely. Well, Ian, that's lovely. You did. You turned yourself around, and that's what it's all about. And it is. And we need to go off doing the hokey cokey all around. You're quite right. I love it. I love the humour that all you people bring to my broadcasts. But I tell you what, for a minute I wasn't too humorous when I got home, because somebody had decided that I've got a little bit of grass out in the front of my flat, and my niece was coming with her baby today, and I usually say to people, park on that bit of grass. It's not really a parking area, but we have a shortage of parking spaces here, although she did find a space in the street today because there was a space. But somebody had let it was obviously a rather large dog, leave a deposit on my grass today. But, you know, even that, I just went and got a bag and sorted it out and popped it away in the bin, and it was dealt with. But I just thought, Wouldn't that be nice if they'd have actually cleared up after their own dog? But again, wasn't going to let it get me down. I just cleared it up, made sure my niece didn't walk in it. So there we go. So those who wish to sing always find a song. So we will keep singing. Although singing while I'm nasal isn't very good, and I don't have a very good singing voice. My siblings always used to tell me to be quiet when we were growing up. They didn't like my singing voice. These days I do just burst out in song whenever I feel like it, because I'm in my 60s and I don't care anymore. So this one, and there's a little owl in these books, and I think he's called Josie. This owl is called Josie and runs through all the books, and there's a whole series of books. And thank you for all that love. I think that's Shania, is that giving me all that love, and different people. Thank you so much. It says, let go of things you can't change, focus on things you can. And every day brings a chance for you to draw in a breath, kick off your shoes and dance. So there we go. And here we are. This is another lovely one. Happiness is a way of travel, not a destination. So happiness, happiness. I often put that one on. I don't know if you recognise the rendition of that, but that was Ken Dodd's, one of Ken Dodd's songs. And you know, if you put that on and listen to it, whenever I put that on, it makes the happy hormones flow through my body, and I just love it. I love the words of it, and you know, it's also about you know, I have no silver, I have no gold, but you know, I can't remember all the words, but I've got happiness, I've been told, or something like that. And it is all about not material goods. It's all about, you know, the other things that you can have, things that you can't put a price on, you know. And so that, as I say, my happiness bank is full. A millionaire in the happiness bank. Might not be so in financial terms, but who cares? It doesn't, you know, I mean, yes, you need money to pay your bills, and sometimes I do struggle because I am a pensioner, and you know, I do an awful lot of things for people for free because that's what I want to do, but you know, we get there in the end. I don't worry about it. Good things happen, you know. So energy and persistence conquer all things. That's Benjamin Franklin. And if you believe in yourself, anything is possible. So, we need to be the change we wish to see in the world. That's Mahatma Gandhi. And if you give people a chance, they shine, and they sure do, you know. But this one I hadn't marked off, but I'm going to read it anyway. Life is like a mountain, hard to climb, but once you get to the top, the view makes it all worthwhile. And it so does. So, and this one I rather liked. A smile is a curve that sets everything straight. And I'm one of those people, if I see people that are a bit grumpy, I do try and make them smile. You know, I try and just get the little cheeks going up. And some people much harder to make smile. When I lived in London, way back, there was the organist at our church. He was determined never to smile. And I made it my life mission to try and make him smile. I have to say I failed miserably. He went through life being very miserable. But you know, he turned 100. So he obviously was happy being miserable. But, you know, anyway, so that one I failed on. But, you know, I did try always to make him laugh. So there we go. Do it with passion or not at all. You're worried about what ifs. Well, what if you stop worrying? Oh, right. Oh. Okay, Ian, I won't go into the meaning of the words. You know, you said you worked with Ken Dodd. Maybe you'll tell me on a private when we have one of our coffee meetups, which we must do soon because we need to get some of that networking going. So let me know when you're free, and let's see if we can have get that networking going. And do you fancy networking on that new Borrow bike? Those of you not on the island may not know what I'm talking about, but we've just got a new attraction, I think, would you call it, in Ryde, and it's like a beach hut on wheels. It's like lots of bicycles, and you sit sideways on, and then at the front there's a person who steers this, but it's like a big beach hut on wheels, and you cycle along. And one day I'm going to go on it, I'm going to live stream, but I'm a bit worried as to whether I'm live streaming, whether I'll be able to hold the camera still and don't fall off. I'm sure it must be safe. So the borrowed bike, I've been watching it with fascination on social media. I wasn't here when they launched it last week. I was away on holiday. But I just think we ought to have a networking session on the bike and see. And it goes from the wet end of the Ride Pier. So I suppose you've got to get up the pier first before you can come back down the pier. And then it goes all the way along to Apley and beyond Apley, I think it goes to Packpool Park or along there somewhere and then back again. And it looks like a lot of fun. So we'll have to see about a networking session on there. But it does look like fun. Anyway, to me, every hour of the day and night is an unspeakably perfect miracle. And that's Walt Whitman. And free your mind, free your soul. And I'm reading lots of these because I so love the whole content of this book. I read it on the bus coming back because I got on the number 37, eventually the next 37, and went all the way around. It takes about over half an hour to get round, but it gets me much nearer my door, and I was feeling lazy today. Hi, Leslie. Life is like a camera. Focus on what's important, and if things don't turn out, take another shot. And that's quite easy, isn't it? So let's see what we've got. Making optimism a way of life can restore your faith in yourself. And that was a Lucille Ball quote. Very, very funny lady. Used to love watching her comedy shows many years ago. And never forget to be yourself. And here we are. Create the kind of self that you will be happy to live with all your life. And that's Golda Meir. And if you are going through hell, this is a Winston Churchill quote, if you are going through hell, keep going. And very wise words indeed, and eventually you'll come out the other side. And this one I thought was quite apt. Life is like photography. We develop from the negatives. And, so true. Life is very interesting. In the end, some of your greatest pains become your greatest strengths. And that's by Drew Barrymore. And take life one day at a time. You can't do anything else, can you? And you must expect great things from yourself before you can do them. Today, fill your cup of life with sunshine and laughter. And although it wasn't very sunny out there, you can still be sunny yourself, can't you? And I love to be meeting and linking with people, and on the bus there's lots of lovely people who chat, and sometimes I actually didn't do any knitting today. Oh dear, I failed miserably, but sometimes I go to get my knitting out of my bag and my knitting's got caught up with maybe the wires of my phone and that sort of thing. Always causes amusement. One of these days I'm going to end up knitting the wire of my phone into whatever my latest knitting project is. But there you go. And every cloud has a silver lining, and that's what I said earlier. The fact that there's some rubbish going on in my life has meant that I'm now connecting with a lot of other people who are part of that scenario, trying to make the whole thing come right, and I'm sure it will. Positivity is contagious. There you are. And happiness is excitement that has found a settling down place, but there is always a little corner that keeps flapping around. And that's E.L. Conisberg. And here we are. We can't always choose the music life plays for us, but we can choose how we dance to it. And I'm going to finish on that note. I think I started the broadcast by saying that I'd woken up and missed a webinar at 8 o'clock. I didn't get much sleep last night, and so I was quite tired. And my family members went, and I dozed off on my desk here. Woke up at 9:15 and had missed an 8 o'clock webinar. So I think I probably went to sleep about 7 o'clock, and missed the webinar. But the webinar had been put up, the replay had been put up, so I started watching that before I broadcast on here. And as I was waking up, I don't know if Shania's still in here, but Shania had sent me a message, and it was really nice. Shania is part of the Ventnor Carnival Committee, and next week at the Ventnor Carnivals I will be going over to record, and they asked me if I would like to go and judge the prince. I think it's the princesses, the carnival princesses next week. So I felt very honoured to be able to ask to do that. I was waking up as she sent me the message, and I was thinking, oh, what am I doing next Monday? Can I do that? Can I? Anyway, I found my diary and I checked. That's it, Shania. And so you can imagine the scenario. I was sleeping here as you sent the message in. I heard the message ping, and I thought, oh, what day is it? Can I do it? And unfortunately, I'm free, so I should be in Ventnor going to do that. And I felt very honoured to be asked to do that. I'm looking forward to the Ventnor Carnivals, 3 Ventnor Carnivals next week. But tomorrow, I'm having a haircut, so my hairdresser comes to me. I don't have to go anywhere. I sit here and she does my hair, and then I'm going off because tomorrow it's Shanklin Children's Carnival, and so I will be over live streaming that, and that will be in the day. But hopefully I will be on live tomorrow night, maybe with some more stories, and hopefully I won't throw any coffee over myself tomorrow. But perhaps we'll get some different stories tomorrow. I'm sure something adventurous will happen. And so that's what I'm up to tomorrow. If there's things around the island that you know about that you think I should be live streaming, if I can fit them into my diary, I will. I've just entered all the carnivals into the diary, and my goodness, I'm going to be running around the island. I didn't live stream all the carnivals last year. This year last week I missed Newport Carnival because I was on holiday with my family, and I missed the Sandown Children's Carnival. But I think that most of the rest of them are going to fit well into my diary this year. So and I'm quite delighted to see that Ventnor have got two of their carnivals on the same day, because Ventnor, it takes quite a little while for me to get over from Ryde on the bus, and so 2 of them are actually on the same day. But I haven't been to Ventnor for a long time, so I'm going to go and have an adventure in Ventnor and go and have a good look round and get to know some more people over there. So do watch out for the carnivals coming up. The carnivals will all be broadcast on my Isle of Wight.live page. I'm delighted to see that on here. It will be. Thank you. It'll be good to see you too, Shania. And Shania, I was looking back at the Carnival Queen pictures, and I see that you were a Carnival Queen some years ago. So I went back. They got most of the Carnival Queens going back years and years and years on their website, and I was having a good look to see. In fact, there were people I knew, and I saw Shania was Carnival Queen one time there. Lots goes on our lovely little island, and we need to be proud about that, which is why I'm happy to share the live streams with everybody. And I don't know if Janet is still in the broadcast, Janet and Leanne, who watch in from Devon on a regular basis, started watching the carnivals last year, became regular viewers to this broadcast, and then last week I met them while I was in Devon, because we were not that far from each other, and it was just so nice to meet up. We felt like we'd known each other for years, and so now when I broadcast, I have a vision of those people I met, because their Facebook pictures. Their Facebook pages didn't have their pictures on, so didn't even know what they looked like when I went to meet them. But because they'd seen me on camera, they knew me when we approached each other, and we had a lovely time last week, so that was really nice. Anyway, I am going to love you and leave you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being the lovely people that you are, the great network that you are. We are actually creating a great community here, and a nice community to be in. And the rule is that if you're nice, you can stay, and if you're not nice, if you're toxic, we don't want toxic people in our here. So hi Katrina, just coming in at the oh dear, at the end of the broadcast. Hang on a sec. I was absolutely delighted when I went on camera today to find that I'd got my live button. I don't know how many of you were in the broadcast last night, but I went to go live and somebody had stolen the live button, and I couldn't go live on this page. Don't know what was nowhere, because of course I do this every night, and went down, no live button. Didn't know what to do. So in the end I went live on I've got a Lynn Blackledge brand page. So went live on there and then shared it across here, and people found where I was. Well, there were over 100 views to the broadcast last night, so people must have found me. So anyway, I'm going to go and rest my voice. I must show you, my sister brought me a lovely plant here today. Look, wasn't that nice when they came over? So I should get that out of its wrapper and get that give it a little bit of a drink, and then I shall finish the the webinar that I missed at 8 o'clock that I watched, watched half of it. I'm going to watch the other half, and then I'm going to get a reasonably early night for me, because normally I'm up till 1 and 2 in the morning, but going to go and get a bit refreshed and recharged. So, God willing, I will see you tomorrow night, or might see some of you out and about in Shanklin. So, Children's Carnival tomorrow, and if you want to know the time of that, I think it's around 2 o'clock, the Children's Carnival in Shanklin. I'm not quite sure where it's going, the route. I've got to go and have a look myself, but I shall find that out. So, might see, if any of you are in Shanklin tomorrow afternoon, let me know. Maybe we can meet up for coffee. Always love to stop and have coffee with friends around the way. And even that reminds me of somebody who criticised me years ago. He said, "You're always in coffee shops having coffee." I think he was one of the people who was like suited, thought I ought to go around suited and booted, like with a clipboard, and actually be in a boardroom or some fancy office. But actually, coffee shops are the best place to do networking, or bus stops, bus passes and all that. So anyway, I'm going to stop rabbiting on because I really need to rest my voice. I thank you so much for joining me. I do love having you all here, and hopefully see you all again tomorrow. I think I even need to do a bit of knitting. I have a bit of withdrawal symptoms. I've done no knitting today. Good job I wasn't knitting when I threw the coffee all over myself, because although the last thing I knitted was a croissant, so the coffee to go with the croissant could have been quite amusing, and actually the croissant was almost coffee colour, so probably wouldn't have come to any harm. Anyway, love you all, love you and leave you now. See you all soon. Take care. Bye.